Hello, beautiful friends. Thank you for your time, your energy. I hope this video finds you well. I had a big insight in this last few months, and as I was just taking a walk this morning, I had a whole download that I wanted to share with you. You haven't seen me on camera for quite a while, and when you don't see me on camera for a while, it's because I'm not called to share anything yet. I'm just being introspective. I'm going deeper in my own healings, letting go more limiting beliefs, healing more of my own limitations, my inner child misperceptions. And then I come out with a lot of good content that just comes to me and is called to be shared. So I hope that you know when I'm sharing, it's coming from a really deep and authentic place with you. And today I'm here to share an insight that might challenge a lot of you, and is a new insight in a way that I always thought we were in control of our healing, of our transformation. So I'm here to tell you today that you're not in charge of your healing. Actually, you are not the one healing yourself. Your therapist or your coach or your energy worker or your holistic health practitioners, they're not healing you. I don't heal my clients. And again, I don't even heal myself. So let me explain. What heals us is this energy of love, unconditional love, source energy, God, universe. And all we do as a process of our healing is that we learn how to align our frequency with this frequency of God, of universe, that is the frequency of coherence that heals us. It's the frequency of the heart. So if you want to simplify this, I can say your heart, the intelligence of your heart is what heals you. It's not you. It's not the I, the ego. How did I learn this? Because our egos love to use our spirituality. Our egos love to use anything that we up to, any of our passions, any of our obsessions. The ego loves to run with that. So a while ago in this, that I was going super serious and deep into this healing journey, my ego loved to say that I'm in control of my healing and I'm the one healing myself. And recently, with the help of my amazing teacher, she helped me to realize I, as the ego, it's not the one healing me. It's God's energy. It's my heart. So what I want to share with you today, based on this truth, is a map of healing. What's going to help you to heal? Because I've been hearing my own clients, my friends saying with so much frustration, how do I heal? How do I heal? They coming from that perception that healing is an intellectual process. And even when I say, well, it's not intellectual, it's somatic, they still frustrated. They're not satisfied with the answer because they want an intellectual process to heal. And in the energy, what is behind is control. I am the one doing. So again, I'm going to repeat. You are not the one healing yourself. I'm not the one healing. So I'm going to share with you a process here that just came to me as I was walking of what is going to help you. It's a process, it's a path. It's a process that will help you to get in the frequency of healing. And it turns out that it's in alphabetical order. It's from A through G. So even before I go into this alphabetical framework, I want to put out there that you need to have the intention first, really the intention to heal. Intention. And intention even involves you sitting in the tension. It's interesting because when I do a process of healing with my clients, that is a somatic process, we find what the tension is in the body. So it's interesting that even the word intention is in tension. You have to be willing, you need to have the courage to sit in the tension of your body, in the tension of the anxiety, in the tension of the anger, in the tension of the grief, the rage, whatever it is. You need to be in that tension, in the pain, in the discomfort, in order for the energy to move. So you need an intention. So this is the map. Number one, if you want to make notes, you want to write the words awareness and acceptance. So that's the A of this framework. So first, awareness that, oh, I am in the pattern of a lot of anxiety. I am holding a lot of resentment. I'm feeling a lot of rage. You gotta be aware what's going on first. That is the first step to change or to transform. Awareness and acceptance of all that is. Acceptance doesn't mean I'm not gonna do anything about it. Acceptance means you don't have fantasy thinking anymore, no wishful thinking anymore, no spiritual bypassing, and simply, I am sitting in a place of a lot of resentment right now. That's awareness and acceptance to this temporary reality that you're experiencing right now. So that's number one. A for awareness and acceptance. Second is B for belief. Belief that this pattern can be transformed. Believe that this old negative emotion, this baggage, can be released. You gotta believe that's possible. You gotta have that belief. This can be transformed. So belief is very important. And third, it's C. C is for choice and for courage. The choice is you claiming out loud. That's another C. Choice, claiming, courage is you saying out loud, I am choosing to release this anger out of my body that doesn't serve me anymore now. I am choosing to release this resentment out of my body now. That's standing in your power. That's standing in your sovereignty. You are choosing, you are claiming, and it takes courage. Why it takes courage? Because you've been living with certain emotions and patterns your whole life. Maybe for 20 years, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. You believe with certain programs and conditions in your body. So it takes courage to let those patterns, those behaviors, those conditioning programs go, because who are you without them? So that's why the C is also about courage. Then D is about decisions, and also devotion is to make a decision to stand in a place with new agreements. So you have heard me, baby, in the past saying that anything that we hold on is because unconsciously or sometimes consciously, we have an agreement with that thing. We have an agreement in keeping the anger. We have the agreement in keeping the resentment. We justify. So when I say yes to anything, to even unconsciously, if I'm not doing anything to release my anger, unconsciously, I'm in agreement with that anger. There's a function there. So that's why awareness is so good. And that's the work you do with a trauma-informed coach like myself, or your therapist or other coaches out there. So you make a decision of designing new agreements. The new agreement will be, I agree now to stand in the light and to stand in a place of love. So every day you create the devotion, that's the other D, the devotion to develop practices that is going to help you to be in a frequency of light and love. So a decision is great, but changes are not going to happen just with a decision. Then you need practices, and that's where the devotion happens. And some of you might say, well, that's discipline. Yes, discipline is a good one too. I like the word devotion better because it's softer. It's more watery, versus discipline can also involve some rigidity. And when you create rigidity with anything, you can push the pendulum too far, and then you're no longer in the frequency of love and light. So D is for decision, devotion. E is for embodiment, and also it's for elevating your emotions. So about those practices, you are through those practices of maybe meditation, using singing bowls, or listening to music at a certain frequency to change your brain waves and put you in the frequency of love, in the frequency of abundance. Any method that you might use, or mantras, they're methods that help you to embody the emotions or the state, I should say, the state of love. I'm speaking of love here, not love as an emotion, but love as a state, love as a frequency. So because we have been living in survival for most of our lives, we need to retrain our body to live in this new frequency. So we need practices to elevate our frequency into a frequency of love. And we need to embody. What's the embodiment? It's actually experiencing the physiology. E is also for experiencing the physiology. What does it feel to be in the frequency of love? So you do these practices. You might join a class, you might work with a teacher. You develop practices to teach you the embodiment of love. For me, one of the forms that I used to embody love was the assistance of MDMA. I learned through the medicine of MDMA, which is an empathogen. I learned how to feel that tremendous amount of love in my body. And then I was able to evoke that, evoke is another E, evoke the emotion of love, that state of love, the state of love in my meditations, in my practice, without the need of any psychedelic or medicine. So E is for embodiment, elevate your emotions, experiencing, evoking, okay? Then F is for faith. So this is where this process goes from you making the choices, you taking actions every day, to releasing all the actions and actually trusting the process. Here's where you go from the one that shows up for the practices, but then you release. So I would say from A to E, you just preparing, you're priming your body to be in the frequency of love, the frequency that heals, the frequency of receiving, so you can receive. Have you heard that saying that when you want something, you take the steps, you walk the path, and the universe meets you halfway? That's what the F for faith is. This is where you just chill. You did your A, B, C, D, E, and you chill out. You end on the E when you embody that feeling of love, and then you release and you practice faith, which is belief without evidence. Faith is where you know, you have this knowing in your heart that the universe is going to meet you halfway. And that's when the healing. So your work from A to E is to put yourself in a certain frequency. It's your way also to tell the universe or God every single day, I'm here, I'm ready to receive the healings. I'm ready, I am ready, I'm ready, I am open, I am available, I'm willing. And you do that long enough that in the cultivation of faith, universe meets you halfway, and all of a sudden that charge that you have had in your body is no longer there. And of course I couldn't resist to continue from F to G, G as God. Now hear me out. God doesn't mean it is any God that you learn through religion. This God that I'm referring here is the Great Spirit, is the energy of creation, is the energy of unconditional love. It's source energy, is the intelligence behind everything. So in this G is it's a continuation of faith, it's part of faith, it's you releasing all the control. Because the moment you bring the intellectual control back, that, oh, this is not happening fast enough, why I don't feel better, why I'm not getting the money, why I'm not attracting the love. If you're in the control, you went from a frequency of love to the frequency of fear. In the frequency of fear, you're not open. You're not in the frequency of receiving the healings. You're actually in the frequency of holding whatever is there. You create blockages. You create resistance. So in that frequency, you're not going to experience a lot of change. So being in this frequency of faith, this frequency of God, which is creative energy, is very open. Think of the mother, is opening, is nurturing, is giving you. So in this stage, it's about releasing all your control. This is a stage where I sit with my clients and I help them to really release all the control, release the anxieties. And this path is not linear. You can be doing this every day and you're still gonna have moments of control. I certainly still have moments of control. So I acknowledge the control, I become aware, and I do the same steps that I just share with you in my daily practices. So this is a stage that you just cultivate this trust that the universe got your back. God has your back. But if you bring time, and time and God don't belong in the same place, but if you bring this concept of time that this is not happening fast enough, come on God, I need to be healed, I need to be abundant. If you bring this concept of time, which is going to create control, is going to create resistance, and it's going to create this misperception that you're in control and that things need to happen a certain way, then you are in the frequency of fear. That's simple. You're either in the frequency of love or in the frequency of fear. If you're going to control, impatience, anxiety, you are in a place of fear. That's okay. You just recalibrate and do the whole map again. You're aware. You have the belief you can change that. You make a new choice. You devote. You embody the emotions. You bring that faith, connecting with your heart, knowing the universe has your back, and that's when healing happens, my friends. So yes, we need to participate. We're not the doers, and yet we need to show up. So I like to replace the doing by simply showing up. I need to show up with God, to God. I need to show up to my body, to my pain. So by participating in that, I align myself with the frequency of God, the frequency of love, the frequency of unconditional love. And in that space, faith takes over. You can also call grace, is another name for God. You allow grace to come and heal you. And you have to let go the attachment to the outcome. When it's going to happen, you got to let that go. How it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, you gotta let go, because those are concepts of the mind. That's the ego trying to take control and fix whatever you're trying to heal. Eliminate that. There's no how, there is no when, there's simply showing up, being present, and allowing God's energy, allowing the intelligence of your heart to do the healing for you. You are not the doer. So that's what I want to share with you today. If you want to learn more about this process and you want to do a few sessions with me, or you want to do a mentorship with me, which is a year long, or just have one long session with me to learn more about these concepts so I can customize for what you're working through right now, just send me a message, email me, and I would love to support in this journey. So if this video served you, please share, and I wish you many blessings, love and light. Thank you so much.